it's Deja Yetmir from CrochetEverAfter.com again, and right now I am going to show you how to do back post single crochets. So let's get started. Okay, so to begin your back post single crochet, what you're going to do is first start off with a row of regular single crochet, and this is a foundation single crochet, so I crochet the foundation chain and first row together, and it gives me a nice stretchy fabric, and it's very easy to see my post. If you get confused on which way is up, always look for your tail. That's going to be on the end of your foundation chain, so you can see your single crochets here up on top. And to begin your back post single crochet, you're going to chain one for your height at the beginning of your row like you always do, and then look for your first stitch. Now, because this is a back post stitch, you're always going to insert your hook from behind the stitch, from the back. This is counterintuitive to every single other crochet stitch where you always go through the front of your stitch. So this is the only strange part. Kind of feels a little weird to go from behind, but you're going to look for your V if you're new and find your V. This is my chain stitch, so I don't count that. Here's my first V, and then I'm going to insert my hook under those two loops but from behind. So you can see I'm now under those loops. Now to catch my post so it's behind, so it's a back post, I need to insert my hook into my next stitch. So I'm going to go through the back and then poke through my next stitch and come out from front to back, and now I've caught my back post. And I finish my back post single crochet by simply yarning over, pulling through that post, and then yarning over and finishing off. And I'm going to just keep doing back post single crochets because with the back post single crochets, unlike other post stitches, you can't use these to alternate your front post stitches to make a continuing cable or a continuing vertical line when working in the row. So what that means is when you're doing double crochet post stitches, if you're starting a row of front post stitches, when you turn your work, if you still want that vertical line on the right side of your fabric, going back, you're going to have to do back post double crochets to be able to continue that line. So you're going to alternate front post, back post, front post as you work. In single crochet it doesn't work, and I'm going to show you why. So I'm going to do another back post, and it's very easy to see where to insert your stitch next, your hook next. Front post stitches, the actual post stitch is going to kind of cover your next stitch, so I always tell you to pull your work apart to find your next stitch. But on back post stitches, it's very easy to see that this is your next stitch. So again, I'm going to come in from behind and then poke through the next stitch so that I've caught my back post, yarn over, pull that through, and I pull my stitch up nice and tall so I'm parallel with my work so I don't have a scrunched down post stitch. And then I yarn over, turn my hook down, and pull through. So again, because I come out, also you're not skipping this next stitch. You don't skip and go over here to work your next stitch. You still need to work into this stitch because you go in through it and then out your next stitch. So this stitch right here isn't the only thing that's happening with this second stitch you're using is that you're poking your hook through it. So it's still an unused stitch. So you can see here's this stitch. Let's watch it as I finish my single crochet. I've got my thumb on it. And then you see that's that same stitch. Nothing was done except that the hook went through it. So we have to use it. Otherwise, we're going to decrease every single time we skip that stitch. And if you want to decrease to make like a triangle, that's fine, but if you're doing, if you need to do back post stitches across the entire row, you do not skip that stitch. So always look for, if you need to pull your work apart to find your next stitch, you can do that, or you can turn your work to find your next V. This is a little bit more difficult to see because our hook went through it, so it's a little, it's not quite as lofty looking as the rest of our V's. It's a little squished because we did use it a little bit, but I always like to just pull the work apart if I need to find it, if I'm having trouble. Like with dark yarn, sometimes I get a little bit lost if I'm not paying attention when I'm working with dark yarn. It's hard to see some stitches sometimes. So I continue across, and on front post single crochet, if I did this in every single stitch, what I would get is vertical lines running up my project. So I'm working horizontal, but with front post stitches I get vertical lines. Let me turn this around and show you what you get with back post stitching. With back post stitching, you get a texture instead. So you get kind of this neat looking stitch where you have this long tail coming across. So you do get quite a cool texture, but you can't use it with your front post single crochet. And you get almost like a knit stitch looking on this side. So if you continued maybe working vertical doing back post stitches, you could get a nice knit looking stitch, because you do get those V's of like a knit stitch on this side. But this is how you do the back post single crochet. It's not good for using cables, but you can create some interesting textures to use it for a certain, any kind of stitch pattern you might want to do. But that's how you do the back post single crochet.